wherever that may be.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. We have some difficult things to talk about today. So I'm gonna dig right into it. And just to give you a little bit of a backstory, if you are new, I am a mother of two, and my husband is in the U.S. Air Force. We are both prior service. My husband took about an 8-year break between his service. So he got out, worked for the Green Bay Packers for some time, and then decided to join the U.S. Air Force again. So within the past year, we have moved from Wisconsin to Florida and then to Texas. And it has been a crazy journey. It has been fun and challenging for sure, but ultimately our family has enjoyed this challenge and this journey that we are taking together. And we have enjoyed sharing our life on YouTube. Now, what we are going to be talking about today is very difficult, and it is about my children. And this is a subject that I have briefly discussed. Oh, my light just went out, so I may look a little bit darker in the camera. But anyways, this is something that I have briefly discussed. I haven't honed in on the details of my children's education over this time period, but we're gonna dig deep today. So my daughter Jane, she has been having some educational challenges. Both of our children started school at the 3K level. Prior to that, they were both in daycare from 6 weeks to the time that they were eligible to attend 3K. They did well. However, my daughter Jane didn't speak until she was about 3 years old. And at about 3.5, that's when we started being able to have conversations with her, but she wasn't up to the same level of her peers. Now, the kids were in school. They were in a Catholic school when we lived in Wisconsin. Then they moved to a public school when we moved to Florida. We were in Florida for only 8 months before the Air Force moved us to Texas, and that is where we are at now. The kids are going to a public school in our area, and you know, the staff at the school is great. They truly care about the kids, but we have a lot of concerns. Now, when we moved to Texas, that is when the horrible tragedy at Uvalde happened, and the school had told me that I should put Jane through summer school. I made the decision not to because I just wanted to hold them a little bit closer, and it was a horrible thing to see, and I couldn't even imagine going through that as a parent. So I just wanted to keep my kids a little bit close over the summer. The kids started school very excited to start the new year. Jane is in 1st grade. Peter is currently in kindergarten. And this whole year has been a huge challenge. Peter is pretty much right where he needs to be. He is in line with his peers. But Jane, she is not progressing. And we had a parent-teacher conference with the teacher a few days ago. And she told us a little bit about what's going on in the classroom. Jane is having problems focusing. She continues to get out of her seat. Often looks like she's looking around and daydreaming. She's definitely my kid, because I did the same thing. She's a hard worker, but it takes her a long time to understand the subject. And she is falling so far behind that as a 1st grader, she is actually at the level of a mid-year kindergartner. She is reading and writing and all the above at a mid-year kindergarten level. So she is right where Peter's at. And it's very difficult as a parent to know that your child is struggling that much. Now, I asked the teacher if we're gonna have to hold her back. Teacher didn't even really answer my question. She kept talking about testing. and how they don't test the children every year. It's only every 3 years, but I can request that she is tested again. And I know Jane does not really understand the testing process in the first grade at her age, so I don't feel like testing Jane is the best way to gauge where she's at. So I believe after that conversation, we left it at it's the parents' decision to test her to see if we want to hold her back or progress her to the 2nd grade. Now, if we move her on to the 2nd grade, she's just going to continue to fall behind. Her peers are going to learn new things, and Jane's still going to be struggling learning the things that she should have learned in the 1st grade. So the teacher started talking about her reading during the conference. Jane is reading at a B level, and I asked her where she needs to be. And we were comparing the books that she's reading now as to the books where she should be, or the books that she should be reading at this time. So up in the screen is the book that she is reading at this time at the B level. And then now this is where she should be. And you can see that it is a huge difference, massive, massive difference in reading level. I asked the teacher that when she is tested on her reading, if she is able to sound out the words to understand what she's reading, and the teacher said no. She has to look at the word and know what it is right away. She cannot sound it out, because if she starts to sound it out or takes too long to read, she is docked a point. And I have a big problem with that. Even at my age and level, which I am an avid reader, I am constantly sitting there with a book in my hands reading, and it is one of my favorite things to do. There's words where I'm like, okay, I gotta sound this out. It almost looks like a different language. So I have to sound it out. And it's just how it is. So why can't these children who are still learning how to read sound out a word as well? I just don't understand that. So that is one thing. Now, since Jane is behind, she is being pulled out of her class. Actually, she is pulled away from her class within the class from various people multiple times a day. Now, the school hires different individuals that specialize in speech, therapy, you name it. It seems like all the time I'm getting a letter saying, hey, we hired this person. They have this and this education level. This is their experience, and they will be working with your daughter to help her progress in this area. And the teacher explained that Jane is pulled from the class off to the side of the class while the teacher is over here instructing the rest of the class. Jane's over here with one other person working on a specific subject that she is having problems with. So let's say she's working on math, because she does struggle with math as well. Her teacher is talking about something else over here, and this one person's trying to give Jane one-on-one attention over here, but knowing my daughter, she's not listening to that person. She wants to be with everybody else. She is one of the most social kids I know, and she doesn't want to be pulled off to the side away from her peers and being singled out, for sure. She comes to me often complaining that she's singled out. So it just breaks my heart that that's the kind of learning environment that she's in right now. It's not working, guys. She's also getting bullied from her peers. She comes home telling me that certain kids are mean to her. She doesn't really tell me what they're saying or what they're doing. She just kind of gets a little quiet. So that's another issue. I brought it up to the teacher multiple times, and the teacher says she hasn't seen anything. And from what she could tell, Jane is nice to the kids and the kids are nice to her. Now, we have known for some time that Jane is struggling. So on the weekends, when we're out and about traveling or on a day trip, I bring sight words in the car. We ask the kids how to spell certain things. We ask them math questions. So we do use that time to get their brains moving. We also lay out homework here on the counter when they get home from school. So I'll have a notepad for each of the kids. I'll put lines where they need to write their letters or numbers. I'll switch out, one day they'll write letters, another day they'll write numbers on their notepad. And then I'll put the date on those papers so that I can see the progress over time. And I've seen a lot of progress by doing this. And so the kids will write their alphabet or their numbers up to from 1 to 20. We'll also do math if time allows. And we definitely work on about 20 sight words a day. And then we read some books that are at their reading level. So right now, Jane and Peter are on the same level. So they're both reading at a B level. So we read about 4 of those little books every single day. I also read a little picture book to them a few days a week. And then we're also reading a chapter book in the evenings. Not every evening, but I'd say about 3 to 4 days a week, I'll sit down and read a chapter to them while they listen. And the kids have really enjoyed that. So we're doing a lot of things here in the home already. And the teacher even mentioned during the conference, she's like, out of the blue, I just noticed that Jane's getting so much better with her writing. I'm like, yeah, because we're working on it every day at home. And the teacher just seemed like, oh, I don't know about that. I think it's what we're doing in the classroom. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. And it's a huge struggle. I don't want to see Jane fall behind so much so that she is grades behind her peers or even just 1 grade behind her peers. It's heartbreaking. And this is something that we have brought up in our conversations over time, which is homeschooling. I have a lot of friends that homeschool their kids. I have a sister that was homeschooled, and all of them absolutely have amazing things to say about homeschooling. They absolutely love the journey of homeschooling. They're always eager to lend some information or just be there for support when I have questions about it. But the reason I haven't taken that leap is because of my own fear. I am terrified of homeschooling. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what I am doing, and I fear that I will ruin my kids. And when I share those concerns with those that do homeschool, they always say, hey, we had the same ideas and the same concerns, but it's going to be rocky at first, and you'll even have some good and bad days, but in the end, you're going to love it, and you're going to be so proud that you took that leap, and you're going to see so much progress in your children. So after much conversation between Adam and I, we have decided to take this leap. We have decided to pull the kids out of school, and I'm going to be homeschooling them here, both of them, because I know how these kids work. They do best when they're together. They are each other's best friends. They thrive because of each other. And if Peter does well over a subject over Jane, or if Jane does well on a subject over Peter, that's okay. We'll just adjust the curriculum. And if they are still at the same level on certain subjects, great. They can root each other on and, throw some ideas around with each other over time. I have gained some information from my friends that homeschool that has led me in a direction. I'm not solid on how I'm gonna start this, but at least I have an idea on what needs to be done. This is, I never thought I would even think about doing this. I never thought that I would be a homeschool mom. but this is what needs to be done. And part of me is frightened, very frightened, but I love challenges, and the more I wrap my head around this change, the more excited I'm getting. But I need support and I need help, and I am grateful for all of you, all of our subscribers that continue to come back every week to watch our videos and leave very kind comments. I appreciate that so much. So what I ask of you during this challenging time for our family in this crazy transition into homeschooling, if you are a homeschooling parent, or if you have been homeschooled yourself or know someone who has homeschooled, please leave a comment below. Let me know some ideas that you have, field trip ideas, curriculum, what programs did you use? Where did you get your workbooks or worksheets? Anything that can help. I am all ears, and I want to take that information, look through it, research it, and come up with the best plan for Jane and Peter. It's quite a journey, guys. So please help me out. Leave those comments below. And are you guys ready to come along with us on this crazy journey? Because you bet I will be sharing a lot of this journey with you. All of our field trips, a lot of the days here in the home, learning, different things that I come up with. I will be sharing what I end up using, whatever plan I end up following. I'll share with you guys what we end up doing. So be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. If you have been tagging along with us over the past year, continue to come back, guys. I know I'm gonna fall on my butt a few times, and the kids are gonna probably have you guys cracking up. I know that they have me laughing all the time. So it's gonna be interesting for sure. But guys, I'm gonna leave you at that. I hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Let's go adventure in the